Shamal Waraich, 34, was unborn in Manchester and grew up in a sectarian UK-Pakistani domestic. He was undiagnosed in HIV in 2013, and now educates human beings, on which he's loved to be homosexual, Moslem, and residing in HIV. To the date, I include never go through who love me and he's extremely lone, says Shamal Waraich. Currently I include got to the spot in my lifetime wherever I'm proud to say who I am, I'm UK Pakistani, Moslem, gay and residing in HIV. I fair wish to say to who, thou know, order. How hard it is as a Moslem and creature HIV favorable. Waraich was undiagnosed in HIV in October 2013. He had a difficult period reconciling creature, Moslem and gay and the struck how he acquired his diagnostic. I felt so lot embarrassment and fault about he says. HIV is seen as a gay person's illness. In the Asiatic society, down there is the perceptual how the is a wicked item. I internalized how homophobic, and mind, I honored how, the is perhaps my fate, I'm departure to die youthful and go to Hades. He remembers the day he got his diagnostic at a sex public health hospital in East London. I had lost in to get proven for thing else. How's while it came behind how I had HIV and my planet fair bring down separately, says Waraich. The public health advisor at the hospital tell to him for 40 protocol, but he couldn't consume any of it. I don't though recall which he told, I was frightened to person the fact of it. I fair requested the land to martin me upwards. Waraich stored his diagnostic to oneself for 2 years. I in isolation myself. I didn't speak nobody, just my physician and a advisor knew. Possessing the open secret took me to several black places, and I nearly envisaged end my lifetime. Now Waraich plant in sex public health formation, as an coverage employee for the Terence Higgins Confidence. He feels it is essential to say of. I never saw stories of human beings of color who had contracted HIV, he says. Newly, Waraich solved to speak his parents on his HIV statute. He had been concerned on expressive them for year. My mum was very supporting. She told, in Urdu, I loving you as my child, everything you give to my threshold, I will supporting you independently. It was such a ease to speak her. I was waiting her to ask me questions, love if I was departure to dead, but she was fair really fond. His older sibling and his sibling-in-law, Sair and Rabia, include as well been supporting. Rabia has ever been capable to feeling while things are a bit doubtful in my psychological public health. While I said them on the HIV diagnostic, she told, reason didn't you fair speak us. We could include been down there for thou. But at the period, he says not one could include helping him since he was not prepared. It has undertaken him 5 years to take the supporting he was proposed and be sure to say on it. Waraich says he was freaking of on upcoming out as gay to his parents a few years back. I in fact said my dad in the equipment keep, he says. We were looking at drill bits and I was plucking up the bravery. I include to do it there, he's a very courageous location. I requested to do it in how time since we were in social. I was thought, okay, he perhaps won't cry at me or get irate at me there, or perhaps he will and choose up a mallet and break me on the chief. All of these surrealistic thoughts were departure via my reason. But he was so large, my dad was so supporting. His mom, he says, was more than stunned by his tattoos rather than by his upcoming of. I was tiring a waistcoat in the summer, newcomer error. Mum begun shouting, thou aware how is haram prohibited in our religious, thou departure to be burned in Jahannam Hades for how. Not everyone in his household has been in sight, newly he came out as gay to his cousin. Her response was, oh how's incorrect. I wasn't very frustrated by her response, says Waraich. I fair told, I'm departure to learn you since you don't aware any superior, I didn't select to be homosexual. I was unborn the path. Largest of the period, Waraich will speak human beings on his sexiness but conceal his HIV statute. Upcoming out once again and once again is morbid and emotion. I've go out so lot in my lifetime, and now I include to go out on my HIV statute. I've scientific to not be defense, but to go in education regime. But it puts the burden on me. I discover myself possessing to convenience who else who is conclusion it difficult to transactions in, oh my deity, thou re HIV favorable, I'm very disappointed, and later I include to convenience them. Now how Waraich has said everyone in his private lifetime, sames on a mission statement to bring up other in the Southward Asiatic society. Sex public health clinics do wonderful job, but for Asians he's a fight to get via the doorway, he says. He knows the of expertise. In spite residing as an publicly gay man following driving to London in 2010, and creature so informed on HIV, he found it difficult to surmount the stigmatization. Largest gay men are rather clocked on, departure to get proven routinely. In my expertise, human beings of color are love, which if my mum sees how. Which if it comes up on my web story. Human beings are yet really nerve on speaking on such things. I could include secured myself. I knew on HIV, but I was so shamed of departure to the hospital, I buried my chief in the grit. He's yet really hard for Asians to say to every some on sex, says Waraich, partially since they absence the order tongue. In Urdu for copy, we don't include a speech for sex or sexiness or LGBT although these cultures already exist in Pakistan. If down there is a speech, he's humiliating and I don't wish to be named as how. And in conversations not creature had on sex, down there are though less conversations on sex public health. Waraich is aware how Southward Asiatic patients might be indecisive to say to him. They might sense convicted, or believe how I might aware their and or thing. Occasionally they don't wish to stake things but I speak them, the is yours public health, we wish you to aware wherever you are so thou re not touching nobody else. Waraich now knows which it conducted to see following oneself and stay wholesome. A lot of human beings don't aware how you can be on treat and how he's not a die verdict. Human beings include regular lives. He's fair 2 pills a date. I set an alarm signal on my telephone and it has fair be portion of my usual. I am undetectable that tool how I cannot undergo it to a affiliate, but not everyone is capable to understand how conception. In spite all, he yet sometimes struggles to conciliate his sameness in his sectarian parenting. I'm departure to pursue my religious on my own regulation. God is departure to magistrate me and how's departure to be among us. How one HIV positive man stopped thousands receive the viral infection by help them receive a play changing treat not later accessible on the NHS.